Thank you, Caroline.
Hopefully it's a closing of a chapter and an opening of a new chapter.
I brought home another medal, you guys. 5th place, open bikini class D. Not the one I wanted, but every single show is a learning experience. We're gonna recap on a couple things in this video. What went into this prep, why it was different, my peak week, and what that looked like in comparison to previous peaks, the show day experience, judges' feedback, and what is next. So first off, I've been in prep since I think middle of March, about right after the Arnold Classic is when I started competition prep. It was after a gut healing phase. My body, I just wanted to recomp, get a little bit leaner, and I wasn't even sure if I was gonna hit a show or not. I'd already qualified from the 2021 North American competition where I placed 5th in both wellness and bikini, which I believe I was the first ever person to cross over and place in the top 5 in both categories at one show. At that time, I didn't know if I was ever gonna compete again. That was a really tough prep. My body, I had to push it very hard in order to get it to respond. And that's when we found out I had gut dysbiosis because I did GI mapping post-show. Come this spring, I noticed that my body was starting to respond very quickly. And I was just doing steps in a day. We hadn't really reduced food a whole lot. Now, granted, during my gut protocol, I was doing a couple fasts a week. I was eating pretty low calories because I had some severe bloat, indigestion. I just really couldn't stomach food. And that's a telltale sign you have gut dysbiosis, is if you have issues with digestion, bowel movements, bloating constantly. Those are just some symptoms you can experience. As we started reducing food, changing my training, I was weight training, I think 3 days a week for most of this prep. A couple of weeks I would do 4 days, 2 upper, 2 lower, but mostly glute focused. I had 1 hamstring dominant day, I think, at this whole prep. And I have deactivated my quads on almost every single movement. I do regular barbell squats once a week just because I love squats, and squats are great for full leg development. Other than that, like, my plans, everything stayed pretty standard. We implemented, instead of steps in a day, I did 2 split cardio sessions. So I was hitting 45 minutes fasted, and then I would hit another 45 minutes in the afternoon. That was a little bit grueling, but I've noticed my energy and my sense of well-being have been much better this prep. Testimony to healing my gut, but also we have implemented a few different natural supplements that are helping me with mood and brain functionality. That has been amazing. My calories have been not that low, to be honest. I would do high days at about 1350 for, I think, 4 days a week on average, and then 3 low days that were about 1100 calories. But I wouldn't go below 100 grams of carbs, and my fats never went below 40 grams of fat. So that's pretty good for any female in a competition prep. And so once we got to about 2 weeks out, David started reducing my cardio. We started increasing food, doing 2 refeed days a week, and my body just kept dropping. Come peak week, my body was like, yeah, you're doing great. And I trained 3 days in peak week. We reduced cardio down from a 50-minute session to, I think, 35 minutes and then 30 minutes. And I did a photo shoot on Thursday morning. Friday, I didn't do any cardio, and then show day was on Saturday. And he ended up refeeding me more during peak week than we did in the practice refeeds. So I actually had 3 days back to back of 200 grams of carbs, which is the most I have ever eaten in a prep. Ever. And honestly, it's hard to eat at that point because your body's not used to eating food. You get so used to not eating that it's like you're force feeding at that point. But I was able to kind of rest, reset my adrenals, reduce caffeine. Going into the show day, I actually wasn't super nervous. I do my own tan and makeup. I had a girlfriend of mine do my hair, so I didn't have to worry about that. And this was the most confident and comfortable I've felt on stage ever. I feel like this is the right division for me. So stepping on stage, it felt great. Into getting on stage, I got in first call outs. I was on the end, and they ended up moving the other girls and then had them go off stage, and I stayed, and they brought on the second call out. And at that point I was like, okay, I don't know what happened, but I did my best. So we did the night show. I placed 5th. This is why it's super important to get judges' feedback. We thought that I overstressed in the morning a little bit. That caused me to hold some water, and I was holding a little bit. However, the judges thought my conditioning was on point. Their critique was I was almost too muscular for the division. Coming from wellness, we know that I have a lot of muscle density. I've been training for 7 years. And Sandy, the head judge, She's like, you're in the right division for you. We just need you to continue streamlining your physique. So what does that mean? It means I need to continue getting that X frame that they are rewarding in bikini. Wide clavicle with shoulder caps, tiny waist, glute shape from front and back. And I think we can also have sharper tie-ins from the back. So at that point, it's like, okay, I placed 5th again. Do we continue in prep and hit junior nationals in 4 weeks? Or do we reverse diet and try to streamline my physique through the year and hit a show later in the season? Anytime you are making these types of judgment calls, you need to analyze your biofeedback and where your body is from a health standpoint. I've been sleeping 8 hours a night on average. I'm eating a lot of food. My work and career is not suffering right now. I think this is the best I've been performing from a cognition standpoint ever. And my business is doing really well. The business as our coaching team is doing well because I manage our coaches and our administrative team and do a lot of behind the scenes things. So is there a whole lot that we need to change? Not really. I'm going to keep pushing the envelope and my body should keep responding. We decided, okay, let's do junior nationals. We're going anyways. So if there's already clients who are going on our team, why not? It's just another entry fee at that point. So what it looks like right now is I'm returning back to my base calories that I was at prior to peak week. I'm gonna go back to training. I'm actually doing a little bit of a deload this week because my joints are really hurting, which happens a lot coming out of a show. I did eat some foods that I've been craving. So some of them were higher inflammatory, like a pizza. I had some ice cream, just being honest. I had a cookie that was amazing, chips. So I had a margarita before finals actually. That relaxed me quite a bit. Knowing these things, I'm going in 100% prepared that I can continue giving it my all and my whole life is not going to suffer. If you're at a point financially or in your relationships that they're strained, that's usually the best time to reverse diet and put the other areas of your life first rather than competing. For David and I, our business is built off of us having athletes compete, but also us competing and getting experience. And this was a great experience for us to learn more about bikini and continue to improve our craft so that we can help more of our clients as well. So I'm really excited. This is the best I've ever looked. I'm completely satisfied with that. The biggest area of improvement I think I need to work on is still posing. And it's funny because I've been a posing coach. I've worked with several in the industry and it's like, there's certain things I just am not comfortable with. I'm very rigid and like, I need to take dance classes is what it is. I need to get more fluid, move my hips, my shoulders, relax, a little bit sass on stage, but not too much because that doesn't fit my personality either. So that's where I'm at. That's what we're working on. And I'm going to keep you updated as things progress and just keep on getting better. This is what bodybuilding is. This is the way life is you either stay in your comfort zone or you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, which is where the change can happen. And that's where you can evolve.